Okay, go.
Hi, my name is Razd.ai. I'm a startup founder and an Uber driver. So my startup was called Razd.ai, and we're experimenting with a new name, Fly. So where have you wanted to visit? Where around the world have you wanted to go? So this was where I first got started. I've traveled to roughly 30 countries, and I love to travel. And I wanted some kind of way to change the world. So I decided to apply to Draper University with a company called Feather Flights, and I got in. So the day before I was about to leave for San Francisco, I was living in Las Vegas at the time, I saw a press release and Elon Musk was doing electric airplanes, and Tim Draper funds Elon Musk. He's a huge investor of Elon Musk. I now have no company, in my opinion, because how am I going to compete with Elon Musk? So I go to dinner with my dad. So at this dinner, my dad says he's a full-time programmer. The best I can do for you is give you no-code tools. I'm working on some no-code tools. Technically, they're low-code tools. You can pitch them, make a product. So I said sure, and I went to San Francisco. So I'm standing on stage with Tim Draper, and I'm about to pitch what he thinks is a sustainable airline, and instead I pitch low-code tools, and he says something similar to like Figma. So at this point, I have to start from scratch, and technically at Draper University, you are allowed to start from scratch. You can get in without a company. This is unique. Usually you have a bunch of pitch materials prepared. I decided to start over, and there are other notable competitors to low-code tools, such as Figma, Udemy. Freelancer isn't technically low-code tools, but it's in the genre I'm going for now. So these competitors, they aren't necessarily offering gig matching, and they aren't necessarily offering, it's competitive, or you're not even guaranteed work. So it's a tool you can use that might amount to something, or you're on something like Freelancer and you're competing for a gig and you might not be a skilled programmer. It's the best you can really do with low-code tools. So as I'm making these new pitch materials, I'm not really over travel, and I'm not really over the idea of not running an airline. So I get to thinking, and sustainable flights are expensive. So a notable competitor, they happen to not make the airplanes. They offer sustainable flights, sustainable charter flights, where the technology is we're limited to charter flights. It costs about $5,000 to fly from New York to DC. This is a relatively short flight, so this is expensive. These flights are expensive. So the already invested in by Tim Draper, he's on his Rhino wall, a very notable wall for his best investments. He's probably going to make the airplanes and sell these charter flights. How I would possibly compete with this notable competitor, I was thinking I would more so be similar to Surf Air. So I'm not quite ready to commit to being the next Surf Air. So I continue making a mobile app, and I decided that these low-code tools are going to be a mobile app. And they're going to help users pay for these sustainable flights. So maybe I'm not making an airline, but I am in the travel genre, and I now have a niche. So these travelers, they're going to be now matched to gigs. Instead of using low-code tools for hobby projects, instead of maybe going on Freelancer and maybe getting linked to a job, I am matching you to a job, and I'm giving you a reason to use your low-code tools. These programming gigs are going to help businesses become more sustainable, because automation is the first step in becoming more sustainable as a business. Most of the time when you ask business owners how they want to achieve their sustainability goals, the best way to start is by implementing automation. So the gig matching will work similar to other gig economy apps like Uber. So how are these travelers going to get paid if this is a global company? There are digital nomad visas. There are also services called employer record services. So they help with immigration and making sure that temporary workers are able to get paid around the world. We also added AI to help train people. So I went to some conferences and asked business owners if they would hire travelers, and their biggest concern was the training. So we thought we'd throw some AI in there. So Razd.ai now live. You can find us on Instagram, by mobile app. We have a website, Razd.ai. I am making travel accessible. Travel is expensive. I'm offering a solution. Business owners could stand to hire travelers